Hello, and welcome to this concise presentation by Humans.team now. If you're looking for an entirely new life, this opportunity is for you, and it's completely free for another 15 days. So fabulous. What do I propose? I propose greater liberty indeed, more happiness, better relationships, and greater abundance. I know it's a lot, but it's a whole system. So my name is Serge, and I'm here to introduce Humans.team, the team of humans and Humans.team. In fact, I'm the one who decided to change the world, and you can read my story on my page. So I'm selling something, and I'm selling happiness. So you can enjoy 15 days free, an inner journey for $100, or an awakening pack for $500. You'll see the trick's magic. I'm going to the site right now, and we will discover the inner workings of the process together as we go. Humans.team, as I said just a moment ago, offers you to become human again. That is, as a human, you live like a human in the present moment. That is to say that if you want to be happy, you must, in the present moment, that is now, be happy. If you want to be happy, you have to act on it. You can't do it yesterday or tomorrow. That is not possible. Okay, so returning to the fact that we're human, and that's why it's called Humans.team, it all makes sense. The human lives here and now. And so we have a program here to remind you that you're in the middle of the act. Leaving the current world to discover the world of Humans.team. It is a world that truly respects the human. That means you are always truly respected now. There is no question at all. It is for the human's benefit. It is always the human. A major rule, Humans.team is a group, and we create a positive group energy together. But on Humans.team, the idea is that each person takes care of themselves and of their own personal path, and that they sincerely seek their own happiness in their everyday lives. And therefore, to that end, I offer a 60-day journey that will guide you from where you stand today, and it will purposefully provoke thoughtful questions deep within you. It is an inner journey, a personal inward exploration of your own beliefs. So the 3 phases. What lies ahead of me now? You will discover what influences you without you realizing it. And happiness is not a destination, it's a choice you make now. First phase, a 20-day phase, and a second phase in which we reclaim our power. You've seen clearly. So now you've spent 20 days trying to understand the problem. Now you vibrate higher, and you're going to create, not from lack, but from abundance. I told you I have a solution for abundance. Wait, I'll explain to you. Third phase here, what awaits you? To put it simply, it is about the happiness of being happy together. So you're no longer alone. Join the worldwide community of awakened humans and become a beacon for others. Here we are in a space where basically we invite people to be freer, happier, and more abundant. And that indeed is your noble work. If you wish to begin, you purchase the base package, the 60-day inner journey, for $100. It's 86 euros, I think, roughly, truly. You buy that, you go through the full 60 days, and the advantage is that right away from that moment on, we are all, as members who bought this pack, all on the same wavelength as one group. That is to say, we've understood what the problem is, we free ourselves from it mentally, it's as simple as that, and we focus on our happiness and we do it together. And that changes everything in the dynamics, because now we're supported by a site that respects humanity. Then I go even further into the site here, and the 60 days will bring you back into the present moment as many times as possible inside the entire 60-day program, exactly 9. Then I will show you day 1. And the core principle on Humans.team is that everything that will happen to you, you can freely write notes about it and thus tell your own story. Okay, day 1 starts like this. We have a podcast, we have a PDF. The PDF is magnificent because it really covers the whole day. Each day is different. There are 60 days, 60 different days with an explanation of the day. Very interesting to read. We have the podcast that is more for people who want to listen. It's good to hear that. And add a second coat to the podcast.
And hello there. Welcome to your very first day. We are so incredibly happy to have you here with us today. Truly, we know you're starting something important.
Yes, and frankly, well done. Because this first step, even if it seems so very small.
Here you go, indeed. And this is a truly good way to support yourself, even if it's a placebo. All of this is artificial intelligence. There's no human behind it. There is only one intention. So you will receive this, but you will also receive intentions, mantras, phrase of the day, each time with a small card. that you can schedule it. So these are the notifications, whether they are active or inactive, simply concerning the time. You can set the time at 5-minute intervals. You can receive the notification by email, by a push notification, by Telegram, or by webhook for information technology professionals. And every time you can write a short note. When you write a note, you will probably rely on speech recognition that still has very poor accuracy. And so we all end up with words or terms or things that sometimes get misrecognized. Here I have placed the words that particularly interest me. I could, for example, include my full family name, and when I write here, it will automatically recognize these words. Well then, of course, normal speech recognition is likely not going to be very good, so I'm going to post this here, for clarity, I mean. My goal for today, that's my stated objective. My goal today is to truly change my life and to start this program willingly, with the aim of showing up every day and making time for myself, as I keep reminding myself to stay present. It's wonderful, great, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. I'm happy. So why did I do this? Because obviously, it isn't the thing you'd want to reread when you revisit your story. And here we've corrected the text with AI's help. AI is a fabulous tool, and you can see that for a tiny cost, we're talking about roughly 0.3 of a cent, for real cheap, indeed today. You'll be able to correct the text, so you simply click there. It will take your keywords into account here, etc. And he's going to rewrite that thing for you. My aim today is to truly change my life and to start this program willingly, with the goal of starting it daily and making time. For me, this is truly what I want to devote my time to doing. It's truly wonderful, and I am genuinely very happy. There you have it. It's considerably more distinctly French. It's far nicer indeed, and I can record that. Okay, that adds itself here, and that definitely creates my notes for the day. So in my 60 days, I certainly have my own notes today. All of that you will find in my journal. My journal. This is everything that will eventually happen for you today as you experience it. Here is your day. We'll begin with that as the starting point. So all the reminders have been activated for the next 60 days, and for my new month as well, of course. I have a lot of reminders, and every single time I can either jot something down or view the information about the awakening. What is this exactly? It is part of my new self. It is a module you can use completely free of charge for daily use, always. When you bought the Inner Journey for $100, this becomes part of the upgrades you will have, and it also necessarily becomes an essential part of the extras you will be able to offer to others. That is to say, yes, you pay $100 to obtain this very 60-day journey, but you also gain access to all of these newly added modules as well indeed. Today's short phrase, the ability to write your personal story with artificial intelligence. You will be able to tell your story day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. And so somewhere you are in a place where you are the true hero. You're the hero of your story. And I think that is just what has to be done. My plan is not to solve every single problem the world faces. My plan is to offer every person the possibility of choosing to be happier. And as a result, I firmly believe we can craft a happier humanity and begin to solve a great many problems without lingering on them in the slightest, for the greater good of all. There you go. So I will continue the tour for a little while. In my new self, we have a visualization board. You are going to place whatever you want upon it. So for example, here within my brand new self, I have my visualization board that revolves around what I want to create in my life. I have the various daily activities that fill my day. Okay, so activities, I can clearly see what it is. A positive affirmation with a small helping hand here. I don't have to keep continually creating notes every single time. There are notes everywhere. I can obviously plan or unschedule my note and choose the type of notification. And that is something you will experience today. So you have a schedule. Therefore, on Monday, you can arrange a special schedule for Monday, for Tuesday, and so on. On Sunday, you could have a schedule, or ultimately, you might not have any activity. You allow yourself to unwind and truly relax. And therefore, you are able to manage templates, to add templates, and to place activities inside them to remind yourself. Here are the activities which we have readily available here, and we simply add them as needed. That very clearly creates your journal of your new self. But we will locate all of this right here within your general journal, which ultimately includes you today too. And then your notes. And then, so finally your story, whether written by you or by AI. Then we've seen all of that, indeed. The thought of the day is a small thought, just because the idea is to open up, to reflect, and to consider. And so you can do with it whatever you want. It implies nothing at all. That isn't really politics, by the way. It's just there, right there. You may do anything with them you choose, those badges. You are going to receive a set of badges. It's a charming little method for gamifying the whole thing. You receive badges for the 60 days of my new self. You possess special badges. So there are evidently several of them. There's a small assortment of all sorts of things. And then there are special badges for the pioneers. They are the first to sign up, and you can clearly see that each time you can write notes, and all of that will be reflected in your own history. It's quite simple. An ebook. You have three main things. The first is the power to hide egregores. That explains the energy of the group. Take back your own power for yourself. Once you have understood what drains your energy, you reclaim it and apply it to yourself. And the third phase is a bit like the journey itself. And now we are together. What do we do next? And we have here a book titled Homage to the Greats of This World, a volume we are considering. Those are relatively light, easy reads there. 18 pages, 28 pages, really. The system seems a little more complex. 163. As for this one, it has 232. And that is where the thoughts of the greats of this world intersect with the thoughts of Humans.team and the respect for humans. It's a quite interesting book. Infos packs is information about the pack you have to sell, where you have two things to sell if you decide to sell here. The 60-day pack, called the Inner Journey, which costs $100, and the Business Pack, which is the resale option that costs $500 and yields $400 in commission. So here we have two aspects, the personal aspect, the ongoing act of making a path. And once we have made this path to understand and decide what brings happiness, what do we want for ourselves? There, the next step is to go into the My New Self module, and from there begin truly visualizing what you want. And I remind you, humans live only here and now, and therefore you can only be what you are here and now. So if there's something you want, do it right away. Well, here you have a small, unobtrusive player that travels the whole site. So for example, if you decide to listen to your podcast, or to switch pages, it will stay active. That means you won't have to reopen it on each page, and it stays put as you browse. So it stays with you as you browse, ready to play.
Hello, you. A warm welcome to your day 17.
Here.
Today,
Between but a little.
your true desires.
Yes, because creating from joy.
And all of that still remains incredibly, incredibly positive. So as we have seen, AI doesn't cost very much at all. You can charge a minimum of $5. Here is roughly the price for all the features that are currently available. It is truly, incredibly, unbelievably cheap. What does AI cost exactly? AI costs something at all, and I count 20 more for good measure. The point is that it guarantees you can offer many different tools, so you're free to decide whether it costs more or less. And consequently, you also enable money to flow into the pot to improve services for everyone, everywhere online. That is the principle behind Humans.team. As for the business, we haven't seen it yet. I will show it to you quickly. But these are your figures with your shop's address. Click to view the page here, and we can see the page of my shop. And therefore I can send people onward to your site. Human Serge. This is my page. I explain why I do this, who I am. And there I invite people below to sign up automatically and to enjoy the inner journey or the awakening package. A gentle awakening, because you realize that in fact, ultimately, you can earn money. There are 8 billion people, or 7 billion people, or potentially you have the opportunity to sell. Well, there is one more thing I haven't mentioned yet. The site is in 2 languages. That is to say, it runs completely in French, and it also runs completely in English. Here, for example, I can click there and select English. So you should understand that now the target audience you have in mind for selling Humans.team is essentially universal in scope. You can present, promote, and offer Humans.team to every country where French is spoken and to every country where English is spoken. Over time, we will add the same training programs and the same language options across all platforms. So the idea, in fact, is to provide a single, unified tool that will bring everyone to the same wavelength and enable the creation of a group, a team, Humans.team, that will share and amplify that same vibration using the tools we have available today. I'll quickly walk you through it so that you can see whether this interests you. Here you have your dedicated sales page, which we have already explored and seen. And that's where you will be able to define your own setup. You can simply edit here. You have the codes available to you. So, in practice, the simplest way to share something. In real life, which is IT, it's a QR code. That is to say that the QR code is a business card. I do what I have to do. I have fun. I mingle with people. I hand out the business card. I say, here you go. If you're interested, go ahead. So you can obviously pull out the tools when you have money. They're tools for sharing. We pick the page we want to share, and then we choose what we want to share, and then we decide what we want to share on it. It's fairly simple for networking and sharing. And in the account section, we have the profile, yours of course, with our own first names and so on, and the badges you have earned. So here we can go and take a look at the badges. The thing is, I'm now in administrator mode, so we can see all of the badges, but normally that isn't how it works. You will notice that you have some badges that are grayed out, that you have not earned yet, and those particular badges, of course, you should make an effort to obtain. I return here to your AI journal, where you currently maintain the narrative voice. Therefore, the AI will speak about you in both the first person and the third person. Regarding the writing style, would you prefer to use ChatGPT or Claude, and at what time is your text generated exactly? And here we can easily enable automatic audio. And so there you go, and pick the provider. 11 Labs, very expensive, better, but very expensive. And the voice you might want to use eventually, so you can listen to the voices here, right now.
Today was a day rich in discovery and
to allow you to hear an 11 Labs voice.
today was a day full of discovery and emotions.
To sum it up, this is, in my view, clearly better indeed today. The absolute minimum balance required in order to generate them automatically. Is your story public, and is it published automatically as well, or is it not? So there you have it, basically that, as it were. Once you save that, your story will be created, and I'm continuing to work diligently on it to further improve your story over time. But once a story has been created, you can therefore, at that very moment, quite simply. Today I truly feel immense gratitude. Listen to the summary of your day that was created by AI. So it allows you to have a kind of article about your life that appears every day as a daily feature for influencers who chronicle their lives. It's good. And then furthermore, they say they are in the process of changing their lives for the better. So it's considerably better. All of this is currently taking place on your page. So in my case, Humans.team/Serge. So the people who happen to go there will be able to access that as soon as they make a purchase or enroll. It's thanks to me. So I'll take a commission if they pay for something. There you go then. That's good. Everything is done to keep it simple and to be shared automatically. There you go, I think I've said it all. Perhaps I'll check accounting. So there is indeed some accounting, perhaps of exactly what you have spent across your accounts and over time. Here you have all of the new messages that arrive, which can be ordered and sorted by the identity of the sender, so you can see who sent what. The settings for notifications, which you may remember clearly, apply to all of these notifications and can enable your email, web push, Telegram, and webhook, for example, in practice. And there, you're completely free to say whatever you want to use it now. It's exactly the same thing as what was done during the 60 days, except that we will find absolutely everything you might be looking for. And finally, here are the settings that will really let you manage, control, and shape the site's overall look and feel. So you can manage something that feels a bit cold like this, classic in style, a touch more slate gray, as they say. That's hot, which I really like. It's colorful, though it's a little mauve. And then personalized, you can customize your own thing. As for the progression mode, you automatically move into automatic mode. That means you go day by day, steadily and surely. So you arrive today, your training starts tomorrow. That is the automatic mode. If you pay, you can switch to the manual mode. So there you go. Day by day, I finish that day, and you move on to the next day. And then in owner mode, so when you buy, you can click on the owner mode. And in that case, when you go to look at the 60 days, you will realize that you have access to absolutely everything in full of the training. So a small bonus, obviously, is this complete access. The information when we purchase, if we want to go faster, if we want to, I know 60 days is long. There are those who want to go faster. There are people who already know a lot of things and want to go faster, or perhaps will understand how all of this works in 2 hours, or even from podcasts, I think we have more than 3 or 4 hours. It is a shared vibration. Once people have completed these 60 days, or this pact in which they agree to stay on this vibration, being happy, at that moment we can begin to create. And there, the idea is that the site is there to create with you. Honestly, I can set up all sorts of things I want, as long as it's through the module, and I'm here to please people. If it costs money, I won't rip you off. I'll tell you the price and I'll charge 20 more clearly. That's just how it is. 20% goes to the company to keep things going. And so why does it take so long to explain? It's because you have to understand that this 60-day training will take you on an inner journey to free yourself. At some point, we all live different lives. For example, you might tell me that my job doesn't suit me at the place. In the period before personal development, they call you the coward. What doesn't suit you leads toward your joy. But if your joy means you'll end up broke, that's not your joy anymore. So the idea is to really be able to take this training, knowing that potentially if we spend $500, we can sell products at $100 and at $500 as much as we want. That means several things. First, that you can freely decide for yourself. You are your own boss. You are in a space that truly respects you. You'll really be hard-pressed to find better on Humans.team today. By the way, one thing I forgot to show you, and I want to show you, is that on Humans.team, right here, if you have here a feature that lets you leave feedback, if you think the site is badly built and doesn't respect anything at all, you click there and you leave your review. And you say, for example, I think we should add the possibility of being detectable by the people around here. Okay, should I send the information? The information is received, not by me because I don't want to do that, but by the artificial intelligence which will go and read this review and may perhaps discuss with you saying, yes, but what were you thinking of, etc. So here we have now arrived at my place, and I think we should add the possibility of being detectable by the locals nearby or not. Okay? And here it will determine whether this is something to take into account or not, etc. And it will simply respond to you. And then at the end of the week, I have feedback from the whole mess. That means that if you have things to say, you send them. If, for example, you say, I don't understand what is written, the AI will tell you, yes, but where? If you say something is badly translated, there it notes the language. It notes the page you are on, and above all, it takes your information and then processes it so that, best possible, we have coherent information. To summarize, I invite you to sign up because you will be able to have the free 15-day trial, get a feel for the vibe, understand what we're trying to do, and see how gentle and kind it is. We are in a space of mutual respect. If you tell me to be myself, I could nap all day, and I would say bravo, because you do whatever you want. I do not have to judge. That is not what I would do myself, but you do what you want, really. Thus, we have a tool that serves as the foundation for building a community with a very high vibration, the vibration of happiness, which will foster gatherings and meaningful meetings around those high vibrations. And so as empaths, normally when we send a high vibration to someone else, well, the energy increases. There you have it. And that is what I am trying to create by forming this very human group with Humans.team. There you go. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this video today. If that's the case, please subscribe, purchase. It would make me very happy to earn money. It would be my pleasure to make you happy. It would make me happy if you buy the Awakening Pack, and you awaken to the fact that ultimately, once you have paid for it, you could potentially sell this for a lifetime and become rich. And there you have it. Welcome to Humans.team. Welcome to this new reality. And I invite you not only to buy the Awakening Pack for $500, of course, because it is at that moment that you will be able to spread this happiness to others. And above all, you'll be able to raise money. But I invite you to meet people in person and to use your own business card rather than simply sharing a link on the internet. There you go. It's very much simpler indeed. And finally, one last note about the white circle. The white circle. You found it almost everywhere, indeed. This white circle clearly means you. It's a return to self. It is consciousness. It represents that, consciousness, but at the same time it represents the group. So that's why the white circle. So every time you see the white circle, tell yourself that it's about you. There you have it. And it isn't about a band at all. You come first, and that really matters. I really want to thank you. I hope you like this. For me, these are only 15 years of my life. Kisses to you.